And I'm very foxy, which is perhaps not very Disney. I was going to go upstairs and put a Disney cardigan on, but I just ran out of time. And here we have copy and paste. My tribe.
Listeners, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says Control C and Bonnie's wearing one that says Control V.
I'm really just vamping for a moment until people kind of log on.
Hi.
So I'm not in full audio description mode just yet.
We're on. We're going.
Are we on?
Hi.
We're live.
Shall I bong then?
Yes.
Do you know what your headlines are?
No, you do them all. You do them all.
Okay. Roll out the red carpet. Back through the looking glass. A galaxy in a wine glass. That's it. That's all I've got.
That was the news headlines, teasers as to what's coming up later in the show.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney pals. My name is Lucy and I am your host today of 37 Disney Street, the Disneyland Paris Show. We have no Christopher today. He is rehearsing for Guys and Dolls.
He's quit.
He has not. Don't make jokes like that because people are like, just be fast forwarding. They'll be double tapping in the car and then they'll be like, what? And it'll all become a big thing. He hasn't quit, guys. It's fine.
He's gone to Turkey for teeth surgery.
He's playing nicely in Guys and Dolls. You choose which one to believe about that. So we have with us...
Mine's actually more believable, to be honest.
He moved out of the wing.
Mine's more
He
common.
did.
In the...
There was damp in the other wing, wasn't there? In the west
Yes.
wing of 37
Yes,
Disney Street.
So we've got Bonnie today.
Hi.
Although she's always lurking around somewhere, aren't you?
Lurking with my den in the corner.
And today she's on camera. How are we all? How are you, Hugh, today?
Pretty good.
How are you, Bonnie?
Good.
Got some work done, as you know.
Yeah. I'm a bit flat.
We
I'm
watched,
not gonna lie.
Well, you've just come to the end of lots of busy things, haven't you?
It comes to the end of lots of busy things, and sometimes that just leaves you a bit more. And then we had nothing to do today, so a lot of it's been on the sofa, or for me, in the bath, and then that makes you a bit more.
Well,
and then I shouldn't be like that because in exactly 7 days' time, we're going to Disney World. So I need to ramp up my Disney excitement via doing a podcast and talking to you guys about Disney. So I get something, you get something. Let's all have fun.
Should we find out who's in the chat then?
Yes.
Oh, Lord, Lucy. Right, today, first in the chat is Bonnie, was first in the chat, under Lucy's name.
And yet you're here.
First in the chat, she says,
Two places
my
at once.
face. What's that? Oh, it's you covering your face
It's
with an
'cause of
emoji.
the...
And then Joey's here. Joey says, hey, everyone, hope you had a fab week. My question this week, thanks, Joey, we did. I hope you did too. My question this week is a bit different, but I was wondering if you had to do a podcast on your own about Disney, what would you focus it on?
I would focus it on the lyrics of Howard Ashman. That's it. And maybe Stephen Schwartz. There you go.
Pandas.
That's rather geeky.
Harry Potter.
No, a Disney podcast. Has to be a Disney podcast.
Oh.
Howard Ashman did the lyrics for Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Little Mermaid. And then Stephen Schwartz did the lyrics for Hunchback of Notre Dame and some others. Anyway, I think it was the best era musically for Disney. I think it was the best era film-wise for Disney. And I think the reason is the lyrics in the songs. And I would go on a 2-hour rant on that subject.
I would go all in on the Disney versions of the Nickelodeon cartoon Doug. Because Disney bought it out and then made its own version of it. And it's widely regarded as inferior, even by the creator, Jim Jenkins. And yeah, so I'd do that, and then I'd do all the episodes, and then I could do the Nickelodeon ones as my treat afterwards.
Wow. Bonnie, you can talk on one Disney subject for unlimited amounts of times. What would you talk on? You can't talk on DuckTales for 2 hours?
No.
Could have fooled me.
Bluey, that's on Disney Plus, isn't it?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, that counts. Do a Bluey podcast.
Yes. I'll go on so many rants and I would not stop quoting it like I do in my normal life.
Yes. You've got a lot of like fan theories to do with Bluey as well, which
I
boggles me.
watch fan theories a lot.
Andrew H is here. Evening all, hope everyone's good. I'm currently on a mission to use up as many of the leftovers from yesterday's Eurovision party as possible. Wish me luck. We've only got these biscuits left and one croissant. So we've got these Greek biscuits. The best thing to do is if you're having a Eurovision party and it's a bit late now, you have to remember this for next year, is go to Lidl the morning of and you can just do a little round the world tour. Greek, German, Spanish, French, British food, Italian, all of it.
We do have some Italian deli meats left over, but I'm the only one who really eats those, aren't I?
Yeah.
So I'll be finger fooding some prosciutto tomorrow.
Okay. Andrew also says, in answer to Joey's question, if I had a podcast, I think I'd like to interview Donald Duck. A proper in-depth Radio 4 style interview, getting his take on all the big issues.
Yes.
I don't think
But yes.
I don't think I could listen to that. I think that voice would.
We would have to have subtitles.
And of course, in the early 70s, Donald's things took a bit of a change, and you went through some difficult times, didn't you? Crafting Costume Ken is in the chat. Hey all, hope everyone is well. And if one had a podcast about Disney, I'd focus it on Disney costumes in films, parks, etc. That's good. Sartorial Disney. John says, hey all, my favourite time of the week. Oof.
Yay.
That's nice.
I always feel like we're going to disappoint you then.
Maybe. Ruthie says, hi all, mine would be on being gluten-free at DLP. Not the most interesting topic, but useful to some.
Very useful. You'd have a listenership for that. I love how we've all got our little niches. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's repeated so far. It's like you're on the Doug, Bluey, lyricists, dietary needs. Yeah, go on.
Bluey probably would be repeated because it's all over the place.
Nice and loud, Bonnie, because we need to use our podcast voices. She's
Okay.
not fully trained yet. She's still a Padawan, aren't you? She's just mumbling in the corner. Yes, that's better.
From the diaphragm, darling.
Gina says, hi all, I'm rewatching Lizzie McGuire on Disney Plus. You should maybe watch something like that, Bonnie. Some of the old Disney channel programs. It's making me very nostalgic. My question is, what were your favourite Disney Channel shows as a kid? Mine were That's So Raven and Lizzie McGuire.
Now, both of those are like 5 to 8 years too young for me, or old for me, whichever way you look at it. I'm not sure. We didn't have Disney Channel when I was young, so I'm not sure what it is. But of that kind of era, it was definitely Blossom for me. Was a big one.
We had the Disney Channel, but I never really watched it. I was all about the Nickelodeon, you see. So never really tuned into it, to be honest. Maybe I watched a little bit of Boy Meets World. So, I'd probably say that Boy Meets World.
What was the one with Melissa Hart in it as well? So I watched Blossom and
Clarissa Explains It All.
Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah, that's Nickelodeon. And Blossom's something else.
Well, because I didn't have the Disney Channel.
No.
I only had terrestrial channels.
Nearest equivalent.
So, yeah. But no, Lizzie McGuire, we were grown-ups by then, I think. Were we?
No, mid-90s-ish, I think.
Probably teenagers.
Oh, no, was it? Was it later than that? No, was it? Was it early noughties? Let's have a look. Lizzie McGuire. We will get onto some news.
Yeah, we will, but this is important Disney context.
Oh yeah, 2001.
Yeah, I was at uni by then. Well, we were at uni together by then, weren't we?
Yeah. Let's see. Rachel says, hey everyone, usually a podcast listener, but joining live tonight.
Hey.
Special.
Again.
Special.
It must be something about my flat mood, but I suddenly feel like as if we're going to disappoint people today.
Maybe we will, let's find out.
Maybe it's because there's a Bonnie sat here instead of Chris.
Kira says, 1 week till DLP, Hannah Montana and Sweet Life were my faves, and my podcast will probably be just talk about merch in general. It could be so Marmite. We've got Nick in the chat. Evening, everyone. This time next week, we will hopefully be in your part of the country, as we will be holidaying at Caton Bay in Scarborough. That's getting on towards us, I guess, isn't it? Yeah. Looking forward to the well, it's actually you've gone past us a bit at that point. Looking forward to the show. Jasmine, showing Jasmine all the glory of Whitby and what is that?
Gothland.
Gothland. I don't think I've heard of Gothland.
You've driven through it.
Have I?
Yeah.
That's good because I don't even drive. And hopefully Thirsk. Got Andrew P, good evening. And Pat is here. Nick says, my podcast will be about discussing every single Disney animation and live action films in chronological order, one per episode. Sounds familiar.
That's a lot of episodes as well.
Who'd be mad enough to do that?
Yeah.
You did that, Bonnie. You were on all of those when we did it. I feel the need to clarify this. So Scarborough is about an hour and a half drive from where we are. However, it is definitely very Yorkshire, so we accept it fully. However, my aunt and uncle lived there growing up, so I went there 2 or 3 times a year growing up. So I feel like it is my area of the world. Not so much you, did you? You're not a Scarborough person.
No.
Stomping ground.
I like it enough.
Yeah.
I went there in about 1995 and with school and bought a reggae compilation on cassette. It was something like Total Reggae Volume 3 or something.
Memories.
Jay Scalesy
like
is
a
here.
rancid rotting cheese.
Jay Scalesy says, evening, twins in bed early, and I'm editing some photos from a wedding last week while watching. Mrs. Scalesy is listening tonight as well. Well, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
And we've got Jen and Ed and I Love Disney. And Gina's answering Joy's question. I do a podcast about 90s/2000 Disney, parks, movies, Disney Channel, etc. Oh, and 90s era Disney store. That sounds good.
90s era Disney store would also be my area of expertise.
And we've got Julia and Cheryl, and Andrew says, got to include Lin-Manuel in that podcast. Joey says, love the podcast choices. Mine would be focused on old school Disney Channel films. High School Musical, bopping to the top of it. Bopping to the top of it.
Bop, 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 bop to the top. That's what he's referencing.
Oh,
Bopping to
Joey.
the top. Sorry, she's referencing.
James says, evening. And we've got Kira says, did you guys ever cover the Zoetrope move? Did I miss it? Well, we're still not entirely sure you could, like, it's in a queue now, isn't it? But we don't know if you have to be in the queue to see it now.
We did cover it though. So we have mentioned it a few kind of different. We followed the saga.
We're devastated.
We're devastated because I don't want to go see that show. So I don't want to have to see the pre-show, but I do want to see the Zoetrope. And it used to be one of our filler attractions. And now I'm like, yes.
And finally, Pat says, same here, Lucy. Used to be obsessed with all the cool clothes from Blossom and Clarissa. Nick says, Gutland is where they filmed Heartbeat and the first Harry Potter train station scene. And Scalesy says, we have 80 days to go before we're in DLP. There's 9 of us, so a podcast on travelling/driving over would be helpful at the moment.
Yes.
We've done a couple of those, haven't we?
I know. I feel like we do a repeat because I think it was pre-COVID when we did it, and it's post-COVID because my favourite way was ferry, North Sea ferry. Well, P&O ferries from Hull, but now they don't do the crossing anymore, and the crossing to Rotterdam is really, really expensive.
And they don't do direct Eurostar anymore.
Don't do direct Eurostar anymore. They don't. I don't know where you are in the country, but our budget airlines from our small local airport gone. So now we have to go to Manchester and do proper Air France/BA flights.
It's got worse across the board, hasn't it?
It has. So I think it's worth redoing because we gave out all these great tips to save money travelling and they've all gone. So, yeah.
Well, that's everyone I've got in the chat. So let's do a bit of news, shall we? There's a bit of news
Shall we? There's a bit of news. There's a bit of news.
Not like 6th Park news.
Hey, it's going to feel like it. Oh, I just put my code into Bonnie's iPad. There we go. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. It's going to feel like it's a new park because Walt Disney Studios Park, which is shortly to be renamed.
I don't know.
Disney Adventure World?
Is it not World of Adventure? Or is it Adventure World?
Same thing.
No, it's not, and I keep forgetting. That's why I made you say it.
The problem is we came up with loads of names and I got quite close and I don't know which one it is now. Disney.
We also started being really silly about it, didn't we? And now I can't remember which was the silly suggestions and the real suggestions.
Disney Adventure World.
Okay. So you were
right.
I was saying World of Adventure, but
Disney Adventure World.
Disney Adventure World. My bad.
Yeah. It's not often. I just assumed. Well, I must be wrong if you're disagreeing.
John said so too. I don't know why it will not go in my brain. Won't that? Disney Adventure World. Disney Adventure World. So we've got Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Disney Adventure World.
This I remember it. The initialism is DAW. Oh.
It just doesn't sound iconic to me. You know the way Disney Sea does?
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom.
Adventure World.
Disney Adventure
Sounds a
World.
bit-
Disney World of Adventure.
It sounds a bit
That
grand.
also doesn't sound that good, to be honest.
Sounds too grand for the size of the park.
Yeah, because it's not world, is it? They use the word world
It's
for
like-
Disney World.
the
That's
thing
got like
is,
multiples.
Why are you putting the word world in a park and not in Disney World? Because that would mean it'd have to be bigger than...
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a world within a land.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah. Because the Disney... Okay,
How curious.
we're getting it. The need to like define terms like you do at the beginning of a contract because...
That was a
it's
segue,
all-
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not a segue, a tangent. Dig
So-
myself.
What used to be Studio One as you went in Walt Disney Studios Park is now Disney's World Premiere. That's what it's called. And
That's another one. what? Say that again.
World Premiere.
It's called World Premiere. That building is called World Premiere. It doesn't sound right, does it?
It makes more like, because of the theming, it makes more sense.
I understand, like in context of the theming, but
Yeah.
Why is it the world's premiere?
Well, it's like the first time a movie is ever seen, you go, the world premiere of blah, 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 blah.
even if you've been 4 times before, it's still a world premiere.
Anyway, it is now open.
6 out of 10.
Yes.
So but I mean, not for the actual building and entrance itself. That looks absolutely A+. I'm putting my cards on the table now. It looks really, really, really good. There's confused namings going on. Anyway, so you walk in and it's as if you're on Hollywood Boulevard in the evening and there is a world premiere of a movie going on and you've been invited to a garden party. This is the idea. So on the left-hand side, you've got a bank of shops that are all done up in that Art Deco kind of style. And it's the same layout in that respect as it used to be. And then on the right-hand side, you've got, what are they calling it? Hollywood Gardens. And that's replaced Restaurant de Coulisses. So on the floor, you've got it paved as if it is the streets on the side of Hollywood Boulevard. So you've got the stars. You've got a Mickey Mouse star, Mufasa star.
Have we no
Donald
Hep Cat
Duck
Cafe
star.
anymore?
Hep Cat Cafe is gone. However, it has been replaced.
Everything.
It has been replaced
Yeah.
by like what is themed to be like...
Let me guess. Olaf's Snacks.
No.
What about Elsa's Pantry?
You're doing that crossface again. You're doing the screwing up. Screwing up
What about this? Genie's Cool Box. No, Maui's Sandwich Container.
I would go to the Cool Box one. That sounds...
You see
Genie's
that?
Cool Box.
But Woody's lunchbox does exist. So you can't be...
That sounds dodgy to me, Woody's Lunchbox.
I love Hep Cat Cafe. So what's it been replaced with?
It's themed to like a newsstand. You know, those kind of, the sort of shaped the way that old Slipstream trailers are shaped.
Okay.
And yeah. So that, and it's been moved to the other side of the street. So it's now where the gas station used to be.
Okay.
So we've still got a snack location going in.
Is it still the only place you can get an early, like, cookie?
We don't know yet.
We've had some good times there because sometimes when I'm at my lowest point in that park, the Hep Cat Cafe has come through
It has.
and I've been able to get a...
A sugar hit.
What was that Madeline? Because I think of it as the Thanos chin Madeline because it was purple, it had lines in it, and if you held it to a chin and said, I am inevitable.
I think it was the 30th anniversary because that was all purple themed, wasn't it? I think that's all it was. It was just the 30th anniversary one, but it's definitely the Thanos Madeline.
Thanos chin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maddle chin.
Maddle chin. So the Hollywood Gardens looks gorgeous. Like I say, you kind of get this blue light thing that makes you think it's kind of early evening, and that's all day long. It's going to be like that. So you've got the outdoors, indoors thing. And the Hollywood Gardens, you've got loads of foliage and fake trees, and then you've got like fairy lights strung between. So
That's nice.
it looks really, really nice.
Do you know what? For all my complaining, it looks mint.
It does look really nice. And the thing is,
It looks timeless.
there's this joke about the the Eisner era parks where he was just building them every 10 minutes. He was building a new park and he didn't have the budget for it. So the idea was that doing these studio parks was really good because they could do everything out of MDF but say that it was theming. And one of the worst examples of that was Restaurant de Coolies in there, where when you went and sat down, you just saw the back of all the scenery. And it was just planks of wood and nails and stuff. And I got what they were going for, and they'd done all right. The Imagineers had kept the theme going, but it wasn't glam. And now it looks really like choice place to be. Like, I can enjoy sitting there. Do you want to have a look at the... I know you do. The menu?
Yes.
Where are photos on here? Oh, there they are. Thank you.
We're finding the menu.
There we go.
We've found
Sorry,
the menu.
I'm borrowing Bonnie's iPad, which syncs to all my Apple stuff. But yeah, it is basically burgers and chicken nuggets. However,
It is, yeah.
However, they've got one thing that excited our family greatly, and that is...
Wish Upon a Stars.
Yeah.
I think they're called. I forgot it.
No, they're not called that. They're just chicken nugget stars.
No.
Chicken star nuggets.
The Wish Upon a Stars.
But when the first time we went, and it was the 25th anniversary, was it the first time we went? Anyway, she was 2. Oh yeah.
Wish Upon a Stars.
You-
That's
she
what
was
they're
little.
called.
We went to all the nuggets in the whole park were star shaped, and she loved them. And she go, wish upon a star with the chicken nuggets. And then all the boring chicken nuggets became boring chicken nugget shaped, and now we have star shaped chicken nuggets.
Wish Upon a Star.
Hurrah! We've got a Mickey tribute cake that is like a red velvet cake in 3 layers. Looks very good.
Tribute.
We've got a cupcake that's got kind of an usher's uniform on the front. Also looking good. And all the burgers have got HG stamped in a lovely italic thing on the top of the burger. But essentially, we're talking chicken burgers, beef
For
patties.
Hollywood Gardens. Just,
I like
you know. Yeah, because me and Bonnie were like, HG?
I was like,
Hollywood? Okay.
Yeah. And you can also get a sunset salad and a Caesar Award salad as well, if salads are your thing. So they've not broke the mold with this, nor did we expect them to really, because of the location it is. This is your bog standard quick service, in it.
Yeah, and like when you see it on the menu, you just see a picture of a burger and there's some fries next to it, and then a big cup of Coke next to everyone, and there's 6 of them, and it's all just like, it's burger, fries, and a Coke, and it's pretty uninspiring to look at.
Yeah, it is what
But
it is.
sometimes that's what you want, innit?
It
If
is,
you've got any comments.
and it's predictable, shall we say?
Yeah,
No.
we do have comments, but
We'll get to it.
let's, yeah, we'll see what some more.
When you, what I really like about this is when you exit, you are exiting through what should be the facade of a cinema, because it's got world premiere and it's all made like that. So it's weird that you step into a cinema, but you step out into the outdoors. That is a bit odd. So they've got now this like extra vestibule bit. When you step out that, it's all becomes like marble tiles and things. And this then splits the crowd in 2. And then you're in the outdoors, which I think is a good transition. That was well thought through, and that looks really nice. And then on the outside of that, they've turned the partner statue round. So the partner statue is now against that vestibule with a really nice mural on it. That looks quite kind of this style. I know this is Mary Blair, but it's that kind of very geometric style, and it's got Incredibles and things on it. It's looking good.
someone, I don't know who.
Oh, Nick said, how did your exams go, Bonnie?
Good.
SATs.
Yeah.
SATs.
They felt like they were easier than I thought.
Good sign.
They were normal.
Good. Yeah, you were
normal.
you were very chill about it, weren't you?
Yeah.
Just coming
It
out.
was fun.
Don't know if you can see on camera, but Bonnie's got a bit of a black eye.
And we don't know why.
I don't know.
Kids bump. I was saying to Bonnie when she was having her exams, I used to like exams because it would just mean that everyone would shut up for an hour And sometimes when you've been sat in class with other giddy, naughty people, it was just nice that everyone just shuts up and we all just sit quietly and do some maths. That's the kind of personality I am.
Wow.
I was a 10-year-old who's like, can we all just sit quietly and do maths?
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, can I just say, this is bliss. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Oh dear, I don't change. I think that's all I've got to say about that, except that I was one of the few people who kind of was sad to see Studio One go. However, they've kept everything that I liked about it, and they've just improved the theming and made it feel far more luxury. And so, yeah, I'm excited to go in there very much.
When will that be?
Well, that's me looking at you like, when are you taking me to Disney, Huey? But we're thinking it's possibly October, aren't we, if we can't get the end of August?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what was that? Best time at school?
Nick says, best time at school. Oh no, also thank you for the chocolates. Jasmine has been good and has only eaten one so far. So yeah, Jasmine won the chocolates that Guy brought back from California. Packet of several chocolate bars. And yeah. Also Nick says, best time at school is when they wheeled the TV stand and video recorder in.
I don't know. You see, I am a geek, aren't I? Because that would just give, like, I would always want to watch whatever was on. And I think that gives some people license to just start fannying about. And I don't like that. Anyway.
More on the names. Ed says, no market research was done for these names and it shows. And Gina says, I keep thinking DCA is Disney California Adventure / Disney Adventure World confusing.
Yeah, it could be Disney Parisian Adventure, couldn't it? Well, but then they're not really on that theme, are they? Even if it was like Disney Movie Adventures, I don't know. It's just more. It would be just more descriptive of what we've got. That's my thinking. Because Adventure World, we've been through this, but Adventure World to me says like go ape, you know, swinging from trees and doing athletic things.
Adventure. I'm like, what kind of adventure are we going on?
We're going into the movies.
Yeah.
So I feel like the
It's
title
like-
should say that. Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Well,
We're in the movies.
Movie.
Queue for 40 minutes.
yeah.
Wow.
We did discuss last week that Alice and the Queen of Hearts, Back to the Wonderland, yes, I had to read that, is back from the 17th of May. That's yesterday. So it's back now. But I'm reporting on it again because they've just dropped some surprise merch that they sometimes do. This must mean that they plan on bringing this show back year after year after year, I think, once they start merchandising it in this way. Which we haven't seen it yet. We've heard very mixed reviews. Well, have we? No, I don't think we've heard mixed reviews. We've heard the same review over again. That is bonkers. That's what we keep hearing, isn't it? It's mad. So I can't wait to see
We did
it.
watch Eurovision last night, so
This morning.
yeah, this morning actually. So and we watch that every year, so I don't think it will surprise us.
So our threshold for weird Euro humour is quite high. Nil point. The shame. Again, the shame.
Well, it's going to take decades for people to start liking the UK again.
So one of the first things I said when the Brexit vote came through is, well, that's it for Eurovision then.
Yeah.
We're never going to win Eurovision again, are we?
Literally was.
Anyway, yeah, so they brought this merch out and I like it because they've got like this big kind of spray can graffiti, like
Doodle.
doodle is a good word, Bonnie. Doodle of the Queen of Hearts and the Cheshire Cat and Alice, and it's really quite quirky and bold. Very much like it. Can't really show you it because I've just got a grainy picture down here. But what are your thoughts, Hugh, from a design point of view? We've got stickers, we've got a fan. I think fans are a really, really good merch thing to sell because it gets hot. And we're talking a hand fan. So it's the kind of thing that people just go, oh my God, I'm so hot. Let's go and spend...
I'm not a huge fan of the aesthetic. I do like the Cheshire Cat stickers though, because that just looks like Cheshire Cat, whereas the others are a bit more abstract, like this Mickey. I don't know if that's a moustache.
That's not a Mickey. That's a Queen of
Queen of Hearts.
Hearts.
Oh, see, well, this is the thing. But then what is that?
That's a sideways smile, I think, and her bun.
It's a mouth.
That's a.
Where's the eye?
It's like that little chicken.
I don't think that's an eye.
I think she's facing that way. She doesn't have an eye.
She doesn't have an eye. Look, can you see why I thought that was Mickey Mouse? Viewers. Yes, it's not for me. But
I like
I've nothing, I have nothing against them. Other than the fact that I can't tell what they are. What do you think, Bonnie?
I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the stickers.
The stickers are cool.
Yes.
I like the fan.
I prefer that there's an Alice bag here, and like again, it is abstract, but it's a bit like bounding. You can tell that it's Alice because of the colours, but it's
is it a bag or is it a mug?
it's abstract. Oh, yeah, it's a mug.
It's a sideways mug.
I'm not doing well here, am I?
Your new glasses come next week, and boy, does it show.
I'm getting varifocals for the first time.
Right. What else? Oh, this one's interesting. Galaxy in a wine glass. So they've announced there's going to be a new lounge above Starport. If you're not sure, Starport is that kind of round building just outside Star Tours where Darth Vader refuses to choke people. Yeah.
Oh,
so
do
he
you know
does-
what? For some reason, I thought this was in Avengers Campus, where that
No.
Quinjet is. It's
Wait,
not there.
but does that mean that like what's it called?
I need to look at the picture again then.
That spaceship on the top is going.
The X-Wing.
Yeah.
I'm really confused as to... I didn't realise there was a second floor to that building.
Oh, is there? Is there already?
No,
What?
I don't know.
What?
Unless they're going to build it. It just... I don't know. Get some... Yeah. Because Chris was very excited about this. It's one of the things, he always has something he's excited to talk about and then he's not here. Because he said he sent us the details.
I'll find it.
Okay,
I'll have to look for it though.
So it only seats about 50 people, so it's going to be quite selective. I think that they did announce there was going to be a 2-drink minimum or something, just to turn tables over, basically, not because they don't want you getting drunk. Although I don't think they do.
Maximum.
Maximum.
2-drink minimum.
Did I say minimum? Can you imagine?
Can't find this
And then
picture.
go on Startos. Well, Chris
And then
put
go on
it in the
Startos.
chat.
Ah.
Our chat.
I didn't see it there.
Oh. Well, that's where I heard about it.
Okay.
So our
Go
group
back to
chat.
there.
Yep.
Right, keep talking.
Well, that's about all I know about it. But if it's anything like, things like Space 220 and Epcot and things like that, where they've got these space-themed lounges, it sounds very cool. Very nice if you just want a bit of a sit down and chill. Hugh's going to tell you all about it when he finds
It's
it.
not
in a
here.
second. Okay.
Don't know why, because he did show us it, didn't he?
Yeah, I did.
Where though? There it is.
There it is. Right, go on. Tell us everything about that, Hugh.
Right. So this was seen on the DLP report. A new lounge Lightspeed pop-up bar will open on the roof of Starport from May 31st to September 17th. With a 50-seat capacity, it will serve refreshing drinks. I like refreshing drinks, not those dry drinks. Exclusively feature the BDX droids and other character appearances. So yeah, so I'm looking at it differently now because I thought it was. I must have just glanced at it and thought it was Adventures Campus. So
It's on the roof. It's on the actual
Wait,
roof.
what?
this is from DLP report.
It's
But like I say, I'm trying, I recognise that when I look at it, but I'm like, I would never have pictured that had that.
It's great that they can
Amount of space.
squeeze a bar up there
Yeah.
under the X-wing.
And these BDX droids are the ones we reported on last week that are like mega cute
Yeah.
and are currently doing meet and greets by the Discoveryland train station. John says he thinks it's using part of the Discoveryland train station too. Well, that would make sense because it kind of backs onto it. But yeah, all I've seen is that picture that Hugh just shared, and it's on the roof, but it was covered. And I'm trying
has
to
like
I'm
a
trying to
canopy.
picture, yeah, with a canopy. Trying to picture what it looks like now. Like, are they going to have to build that canopy specially, or is that already there?
Lounge Lightspeed.
Lights.
I think Lightspeed Lounge is a nicer name.
Yeah.
Unless they're going for Yoda speak.
Unless it sounds better the other way in French and they've just translated it in the most literal way.
Lounge Lightspeed. Yeah, I guess so.
Lightspeed Lounge. Lightspeed Lounge.
I think it should be like.
I suppose I
Lightspeed
can't
Lounge.
complain that they've put it the French way around when it's in France. That would be unacceptable of me.
Yeah.
I think it should say Lounge Lightspeed and then underneath in English, in small, Lightspeed Lounge.
Okay.
It's a bit belt and braces, that. Bit belt and braces. It looks really cool at night. That's the other thing. I presume this will be open all day long when it may not look quite as atmospheric as it does there. But they've got some stormtroopers walking around and, yeah, the BDX droids plus other meet and greets. I wonder what the booking process will be for this. If it's walk-up only, it could get a Blitz Hunger Games.
Is it adults only?
Is it adults only?
We don't know. Yet. Or maybe ever. We will know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's good to see. I like it. It's fun.
That's it. That's the news. However, there's a rumour that Hugh is going to tell us about.
Okay. Well, there's a rumour. We saw this. Let me find the post. So, someone shared this on our group. And I've also seen dedicated... I think it was dedicated to DLP reporting on this as well. So... La 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 la. Where was it? Right, John, who's in here in the chat, says, sad news. Looks like the Fort Comstock walkthrough may have gone for good. So there's a screenshot here from John from pixiedust.be. That's at pixiedust_be, or B, the word B.
Belgium.
Yeah, on Instagram, or is that Instagram? It's at, yeah, anyway. So they said, Legends of the Wild West, the walkthrough at the entrance of to Frontierland, has been closed for some time and, this is crucial, is no longer mentioned on the official Disneyland Paris website. A lot of people might be thinking, what is that? But as you go through into Frontierland, you can actually walk. There's a walkthrough there. You go into like some wooden buildings and there's like all Wild Western, guys at desks working, and then you go up and there's another. Is it a jail or something?
Yeah.
I personally do not care if that goes, because I'm scared.
Of
Like wax figures
and mannequins and stuff. Yeah. So we don't do it.
We went through once and Bonnie basically stopped at the entrance, didn't you? And I got halfway around and realised no one was following me and I had to go back. And sometimes I just think, can we just say, it'll be fine, Bonnie. They're just statues, but she just won't go through. So we haven't done it for 5-6 years or something.
So the thing is here, because it is the entrance to Frontierland, as you walk into Frontierland, you've got this big fort structure. It's made out of rolled logs in the way that things that used to be back in the day. That's definitely not going or getting demolished because it is structural to the entire land. What doesn't appear to be listed, as people are saying, is the fact that you can climb up it, go over the top of it, walk through it. There's a couple of little setups, a couple of little things. It's not a walk up in the way that like Aladdin's Passage is, where there's one way in and one way out. It's a little bit more adventure aisle, but not much because it's a bit smaller. But what's confusing to me is I would kind of count the bit that, the covered walkway that takes you to the smoking section and then through to Adventureland. That bit, we sometimes take that shortcut. That's got a couple of like little dioramas in it. So I would say that's Fort Comstock as well. But save actually just like shutting the windows on those dioramas. I can't see them getting rid of that. They might just be not like naming it as an attraction, maybe, I don't know.
Well, hopefully, Chris was saying hopefully it means they're just, it'll be back and they're just doing it up or something. It'd be a terrible shame if it just went like anything extra like that makes our park a bit different, a bit more special. is always nice to have. So hopefully it'll be back. Or maybe they'll change it and it'll be back in a different way. Because there wasn't much there. I'm glad it was there, but we never did it because Bonnie didn't like it. But it's one of those things that I like to know is there.
The other thing is, though, I can imagine if there was any kind of safety issue, like maintenance issue that turned into a health and safety issue, we're just talking loose floorboards or things like that, that they might not deem it worth the budget or the scheduling to fix, but they also couldn't leave it open. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure they would shut it just because they felt like shutting it. You know, it's like, oh, let's not bother with this anymore, because they may as well have it as not. So yeah. When I was there a few months ago, oh, it disappeared. This is the thing when we're on the phone, the chat disappears if you
It
has
said
to
the
read it.
upstairs was definitely closed.
Right.
Right, that's Andrew. Yeah, it was closed, what was that, a few months ago. So it's been like this for a while.
Okay.
Natalie says, non-Disney, but my boys, Rory and Luke, hello boys, are really enjoying the Betty and Yeti book. That's my book. Luke got for his birthday this weekend. They should be in bed, but wanted me to send a message in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, Rory and Luke, hello. Thanks for watching or listening. Now go to bed. But make sure to read some more Betty and the Yeti before you go to sleep.
Go read Betty and Yeti in bed.
And do the voices. Yeti sounds like this. Yeti like biscuits. That's how Yeti sounds in my head. So, little tip. Yeah, so that's Fort Comstock news.
Yeah!
It's like a little Tom Sawyer's Island, because we've been over there a couple of times at Disney World, and that's closing now, so... and it's kind of similar, you know, you go upstairs into rooms and there's guns and things you can shoot.
It's, but thing is, it's still physically there. I think, you know, that's to remember. Like, because I never used to go up and look around it anyway, and I'm a big one for walkthroughs. So that just wasn't the one for me, but I like the structure is there. It adds to the space. So that is good news. Right, we've got 18 minutes left of our hour-long show. We don't have any trip reports because Chris is keeper of the keys in that respect, isn't he? So I am going to give two things. Ask us a Disneyland Paris related question and we will answer anything about Disneyland Paris. But because the three of us are going to Disney World next week, I'm going to give us license to kind of divert slightly away from Disneyland Paris just for 15 minutes to talk about our trip.
Yay.
And I don't know what we're going to talk about our trip, but we can just like ask each other what you're looking forward to, what you're doing, what you're packing. Yes?
Yeah. Lucy said today, have you still got your red shorts? I'm not sure what happened to my red shorts. They must have ripped. I had some red shorts that I used for my Mickey Bounds. It's a shame not to have those red shorts anymore.
Yeah, and I'm going to do Minnie on a day that Bonnie is doing completely different things. So I want somebody to match me Minnie. Otherwise, I'm just a random Minnie.
Well, I'll wear my black shorts and have my Mickey t-shirt and my Mickey shirt. We said, you know, like we were saying how we never complain. Did we say this on the show last week when maybe I was talking about this at work? We never complain, even when we should. And I leaned against a wooden post in Disney World and I got wet varnish in a queue on my shirt. And
It's stained.
for the life of me, I don't know why I didn't march down to town hall and say, hi, let you know there's some wet varnish in that queue. Maybe you need a sign or something. But also, you're going to have to give me some vouchers or something because you've ruined the shirt.
Because it was first time on shirt, I think, as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. And
Yeah.
I managed to buy another one in a slightly larger size, unfortunately, which I found in the ladies section of a Sue Ryder. I think it was in the wrong place, but it buttons the gents' way. So I do have another version of it. But yeah, at what point do you not like? At what point do I complain?
I think we need to
never
maybe.
complain.
I don't want
I
to
moan.
be someone who like takes
rants.
advantage of situations, but I think that as a family we should get a little bit more forthright with our entitlements.
I think at Disney World we're going to try some things.
Because the cast members are so kind.
They are. They always fix whatever issue you have, and we never complain about anything. You guys in the chat, are you generally? I don't like to use the word complainers because that sounds like I'm trying to accuse you of negative things. Yeah. Do you
Do you get yours?
Yeah. If there's a problem, do you let it be known to a member of staff, or do you just become very British? That's the thing, we become very British and just go, oh, no, everything's fine. No, don't worry, everything's fine. And then just roll our eyes and tut when they leave. That is the British way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. What are we on to? You've done packed your flight bag. Bonnie has done all her own packing lists
Kind
this
of.
time. She's designed all her own Disney bounds, done all her own packing lists, and I'm just going to follow her lists because we've got a shared spreadsheet, as mentioned.
Spreadsheets.
As mentioned last week, we're falling in love with spreadsheets. So what are we doing? Do you want to know what restaurants we're doing? Because I'm not entirely sure you know.
Yes, although I'll just address this. Andrew P says, is it true you need to have your phone searched on entering the USA? I doubt it. I think they can do. Maybe a spot check, I don't know. But I can't imagine they're searching everyone's phone.
My phone.
That would take forever, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, I think we'd have heard about this.
I've not heard anything about that, although that's got me worried.
Why? What's on your phone?
No. I more just mean long lines. Bonnie has access to everything on my phone because she shares my Apple account, don't you? So most of it's like screenshots from Dress to Impress that's on my phone. Yeah, no, I hope that's not true, just because that'll slow everything down. And also, that's a bit scary. Going to a country that does that kind of thing is a bit scary, you know. But I can never get over
We'll let you know.
policemen with guns. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. When they're just walking through the parks with guns in the pockets and all
Well,
that.
not the parks, but
the
airport and
sorry.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like...
In Disney Village they do, don't they? They walk around. They've got kind of a delicate hand resting on the gun as they walk around, which belies the fact that they could take you down if they had to. They look very casual and French, but they can destroy you.
Yeah.
And they will. So we're going to tell me about the restaurants.
Yeah, what restaurants we go to. So we're starting pre-park opening breakfast on our first day at Crystal Palace. We're doing lots of character meals, sorry Hugh, because we've got the dining plan, A, and B.
For a week.
And B, we're going with a family with 2 and 7-year-old boys who have never been before, so they want to meet everybody. So we're doing breakfast with Pooh on toast, first thing.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, you do like your Nutella, don't you? So breakfast with Pooh on the first day. And then the second day, we're doing a slightly later breakfast, like a 10:30 breakfast at Tusker House in Animal Kingdom.
We had a discussion with our friends about this because they had on the spreadsheet that we were dressing as the Fab Five. And then Lucy was saying, we've got Fab Five on an Animal Kingdom day. And I was saying, oh, no. You don't dress as the Fab Five for Animal Kingdom.
Right aesthetic.
No, you wear your animal prints and your leafy prints.
And your Wilderness Explorer outfit.
Wilderness Explorer or Up theme, you know. So we had to like gently convince them that no, we'll do that another day. And there was a bit of pushback, and we said, no, you just don't.
Are you like, this is our line in the sand? This like we'll compromise on a lot of things.
Yeah, but I am not wearing a Magic Kingdom Mickey costume in Animal Kingdom.
No. And then on the third day, we are going to go to the outlets because we like to do that. The other family isn't. And then we're going to meet them at the miniature golf. And then we're going to go to Biergarten in Epcot because you can walk there from there. Or we can get a friendship boat. We'll see. Are they just called friendships? Or they might just...
friendship.
Oh, friendship.
You blow my mind.
And then where we're going to after that, Hollywood Studios. Oh, I can't remember where we're eating on our Hollywood Studios day. I know that we're doing 50s prime time the second week. Woody's Rodeo Roundup. That's where we're going. We've been there before. I like that. It's a bit too much meat for me. However, the boys in the group will love the whole Andy's Backyard.
Andy's coming.
Yeah, they're going to love it. So we're taking that. And we do have an Ogre's Cantina reservation that day as well. So then the day after that, we're doing Garden Grill breakfast. No, dinner. We're not doing breakfast. We're doing Garden Grill dinner at Epcot.
Do you mean your dinner or lunch?
Oh, no.
I think it's 4 o'clock.
I mean, do you mean
Here we go.
dinner or lunch?
I think I mean dinner, but it's an early dinner, late lunch. It's a 4 o'clock thing.
That's early dinner, isn't it?
Early dinner, yeah. Michael Jackson saying, do we ding?
For what?
My dinner lunch issue.
Is that what it was for?
See, it's breakfast, dinner, tea to me. And I'll die on that hill, but there you go.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I've been, like, shaped.
Well, it's this
I can't help
copy
it.
and paste
I can't help
situation.
It. I can't help it.
I just think Yorkshire people are very stubborn about this. They go, no, it's dinner. No, it's dinner and tea. It's dinner and tea.
Lunch.
Like, I think I've said this on the show before, haven't I?
If I said what's for tea, you'd know what I was on about.
I would,
there.
but it's just a bit weird that they say, no, it should be this, when the entire world says it another way.
I appreciate it's not right. It's just, that's what I say.
That's fine. It's just when I literally see people on social media saying, no, it's breakfast, dinner and tea.
My school say if you bring a lunch from home, your class is lunches, and if you have it at from the school, it's called dinners. So you say, "Hey, dinners or lunches today?" Oh, I brought my lunch.
That is
It's
very
weird.
interesting.
And I'm like,
school dinners.
They're the same thing.
Brilliant.
They're the same thing.
Brilliant. And then there's 11s.
Well,
we never talk about 11s.
As Louise points out, 4 is actually tea time, so
yeah,
maybe it is tea in this case.
Tea. Anyway, and then we're doing a breakfast at 1900 Park Fair. And everyone's coming out of the woodwork to make comments on this breakfast, dinner, tea thing. And then I can't remember what order we're doing things in, but we're definitely going to Whispering Canyon Cafe. We're definitely going to 50s Prime Time. We're definitely going to Skipper Canteen. Yeah. I just can't remember the orders. We're staying, somebody said where he's staying. We're staying half the time in Port Orleans Riverside, which is where we're staying with the other family and getting our dining plan as part of the package.
That was Love John Handmade, because they're staying at Pop next year.
Ooh.
And Cheyenne this year.
We was just saying how much we wanted to go have a little nosy around those, take some photos, didn't we?
Yeah, there's something about those. It's the sports one. Even though I'm not into sports at all, there's something about those big iconic sports equipment things that I want to take a vintage camera and take some pictures.
A bit grotesque.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Grotesque.
I don't know.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gaudy.
And then the second week because we are DVC members, we're using DVC points to stay at the Polynesian, which is heaven on earth.
John also says, Love John Handmade says, it's true they can ask you, and they have to see, like,
For the phone.
I can't, I mean, they might spot check, but it's not everyone. Although, maybe that's what they were asking earlier. People being checked to see if they say anything negative about Trump. The thing is, I don't want to get into anecdotal stories about this because, like, if they stopped everyone who came to the country who'd said anything negative ever about Trump, then tourism would be over.
Yeah.
Like, it's signs of like potential like extremist or terrorist, adjacent activities or views. I mean, yeah.
You wouldn't kick someone out who lived there if they said something negative.
Well, we've got a friend who's recently moved to the US. His wife is American, so they got married and he's moved there. And I think he's very worried that he's not able to just say things online because he's not a full citizen. And I think he could be chucked out. But I don't know. We don't know. We're fine to go to Disney, and this is not a political podcast, so we're not getting into that stuff. I don't know what's going on.
I've got to delete some things after the show.
Thing is, I use my like photos on my phone as reminders. So yesterday I took a picture of 2 books in Waterstones and 5 cheeses. Just because I wanted to remember the names of these cheeses because they were quite quirky and weird. And then Bonnie literally because it goes to her iPad as we keep saying, she showed it to me today and went,
cheese?
What are you taking photos of cheeses for?
No, it's just because I went, cheese. Because I know you're writing a play about cheese.
Yes.
And I know that you love cheese now.
Yes, and books and cheese and books and things. And then Dress to Impress. It's very boring. Anyway, so we were talking about, they've built this Polynesian tower. We're interested to see how that affects the the busyness and the walk and the aesthetic, we're not convinced. We were a bit cross it was being built, weren't we? It wasn't sure it fitted in. But
I feel like it ruins the wedding pavilion. It's like
girl
right
knows.
there. It's like, hi, I'm just going to cover this up.
It's just kind of not in keeping with the other area. But when we're there in real life, we might feel differently. So we'll report back to you. I always feel a little bit bad when we're talking too much Disney World on Disneyland Paris.
Sorry.
But there's one ride we've never been on because they do have it in Paris, and that's Remy's. Oh.
That's another one. What's that? What's the full title of that ride? In
Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, I think.
Yeah.
That's what it's called in.
But when it was
Disney
during
World.
concept times, it was called Kitchen Catastrophe, but in French, so it was like Catastrophe de à la cuisine. I don't know.
Cuisine.
Yeah.
It's called Ratatouille, l'Aventure totalement toquée de Remy.
Okay.
Okay.
That's in
easy
France.
to remember.
Is that really? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
I forgot that.
But in the US, it's just called Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
Everyone's
remember
calling
that.
it Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except Americans, some Americans they call it Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ratatouille.
A tattoo.
I'm wondering, because it's been open ages. We've been like 3 times since that's been open. I wonder if we should ride it just to sit. But I think it is exactly the same, which is why we haven't. But we are big
I think it's
believers
worth it.
that every ride that they have in common with Paris's version is better. Just to put the Paris fans, the minds at ease. We're not betraying you.
I saw a post of, I think it was clickbait, but it was someone asking which the better castle was. The one in, I think it was, it might have been Disneyland California or DLP. And, you know, it's not even a
conversation,
it's not even like a personal choice thing. It's like, by every measure, the Disneyland Paris castle is so much nicer in like the castle itself, the way it's built into the hill, the square trees,
Yeah.
the bridge in front of it, everything about it is nicer.
It's
The
like
dragon. Go on.
the where's the small one? My mind's gone blank.
California.
In California, it's like it's meant to be like a big reveal, and you're like, oh, where is it? Oh, it's down there.
It's like someone sat on it.
Yeah, and I'm like, that was like,
Teeny
I thought it
tiny.
was meant to be a big reveal. It's just a bit.
Bonnie, can you go
Bitsy.
get what I was making this morning?
Yes.
Watching Eurovision.
Chris is here. Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. I saw your mum and dad last night, Chris.
Chris just says yo.
Yo.
Oh, were they there?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. That.
Oh, there we go. Right, so watching Eurovision this morning because we were out last night, so we can't not watch it, so we watched it first thing this morning.
Oh, Love Joe Handmade. Was I saying John before? Sorry, Love Joe Handmade.
So
It's the glasses.
I need this. This isn't sewn together yet, but that's going on there. And then Bonnie's going to see if she can.
Listeners, they're holding up a green hat with a crocheted antennae and 3 eyeballs.
Crocheted eyeballs.
Oh,
So I need to do the crocheted ears
sorry.
to go on the side. That are not going to look like this, don't worry. But I need to do some crocheted ears, and then I'm going to sew it all together. And so we've got.
I think that's enough.
Then we've got our Alien Disney Bound going on, which is very exciting. So that's one of Bonnie's, and on the same day I'm being Lotso, and you're being
Sid?
Sid the sadist.
Sid, the naughty kid.
Sid the naughty kid.
I think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also got an Edna Mode one on the go,
And guessed.
I'd guess.
and you're being Syndrome on that.
Syndrome.
I'm being Violet.
Yeah, you're
And
being
got busy.
Do we have any other good Disney Bound stock? We've got 1 minute. Any questions? 1 minute left.
I've got a Carl up bound.
I'm looking forward to that. I bet you look cute as a button in that. I'm just being Kevin again. And you're just being
A Wilderness Explorer.
a wilderness explorer. You're not being Russell, are you? You're just, yeah. So yeah. And this time next week, we will be in the Radisson Blu Hotel in Manchester Airport, ready to fly the following morning. That's an exciting thing to say.
So we won't see you for a while.
No, we don't know what we're doing about next week.
Chris has just said he's got rehearsal, but he will try and do a live with Lucas. And then we're going to try and do some kind of live. It won't be on the Sunday at usual time though. A live show from a resort, because that we're moving that day, moving resorts. So it's going to be too difficult to do. Is it?
I don't know. Watch this space. We'll certainly try and give you enough warning. If possible, we will try and do it at what our time would be 3:30 on that Sunday. But it's looking like that might not be possible. We'll try and let you know in good time. And then we tend to do a walk around the resort, don't we? What we've done in the past is we'll do half an hour in the room because we're confident of the Wi-Fi. And then we will pick up the phone and go for a little walk around the resort and walk around. And then if the
until it runs out.
If the Wi-Fi conks out, stream over. Sorry, but it tends to last decently-ish.
Jenny's going on Saturday. I've crocheted a giant honey pot for Ollie to give to Pooh.
Yay! Do you know?
Michael says we should go as 3 dwarves. He added the ding though in the chat. So he knew what he was doing when he said dwarves.
I'm glad that
some people might not know why we do that.
We've trained that into you.
It's because it's dwarfs.
You've said it so much now that I don't know which is one that's wrong or which is one that's right.
Do you know my toxic trait
Dwarfs.
is correcting people when they say to me, "Oh, have a lovely time in Disneyland, Lucy," and I go at Disney World, and I'm like, they've just said a nice thing. And they don't know. They're not Disney fans. And I can't not correct them. Yeah. And I'm like, it's so hard not to come across as rude.
Completely different place.
Same one. You're going to Euro Disney, aren't you, again next week? No. Disneyland Paris, Euro Disney. It was only Euro Disney for about 5 years, wasn't it?
I think it was just 2 years.
Yeah, back in the 90s. Changed, yeah.
Joe did say, it's Joe, not John. Remy is very similar to both parks, but I love the Paris one because of the restaurant. I had actually worked that out before I saw that, Joe. But I will take the correction. And next time I'll get it right. Maybe. Yeah. Do you know what? I bet there's someone in the chat whose name we've never said right and they just quietly just go, all right.
That person's about to raise the hand now.
Yeah.
Have we talked about the DCA keys for the 75th? They look fun. Ooh. We were watching a vlog on that this afternoon.
It was very cool.
Yeah, Random Land, just in Scard.
Yeah, and it's a bit like the ones in Harry Potter Land in Universal, isn't it? The ones are kind of you detect motion and then they do things. These you have to go up and sort of tap it the way you used to in Magic Bands. They do look fun, I have to admit.
Very cool. A pin, an exclusive pin.
Exclusive pin.
Right, that's 33 minutes past 9. And that means, but one more sleep closer to going to Disney World. Think about it that way. Yay! And my poor bones have been wanting bed since 8 a.m. this morning. So thank you all very much for joining us. I've been Lucy. These have been the Rains. Bye-bye.
We are eternally grateful.
All right.